tired of me. Oh, sorry. Meeting is me. Okay. So my dad just wanted me to get a job. He's like, just go, you need to go get a job. I was still in high school. He wanted me to get a part-time job. So I was just applying to everywhere. And I got the call from here and I was like, okay, finally someone responded. I got the job. So came in for a prelim and I was like, what? We're in an office in a suit. I never had done anything like this. The only job I'd had before this was Chick-fil-A. So when I got the job, they were like, we only do full time, Thursday through Monday. And I was like, how am I going to make this work? So I would go to high school in the morning. I would go to like one of my classes and then I skipped the rest of the day so I could go to the office and then the field. So as soon as I came in, I was juggling high school, I was juggling this. And at the beginning, I didn't know about ownership. I didn't know about opportunity. I didn't know about anything. I just knew that when I came in for my second round interview, I saw someone do a high roller speech and they made $1,000 in a day. And I saw the guy and I was like, what? You can make $1,000 in a day? If this guy did it, I'm going to come in, I'm going to make $3,000 in a day. So ever since I started, I just told myself it has to be that easy. It has to be that easy. It has to be that easy. And I just came in and I didn't know anything else. So at first coming in, there wasn't much opportunity in my head. It was just having the opportunity to go out and make as much money as you want as an 18-year-old kid that's still in high school. You can go and Target and there's unlimited money. You just have to go and talk to as many people as possible. And then obviously in the 333, all we talk about is opportunity, about vision. So we're constantly talking about that every day. And then it gets to a point where you're like, okay, well, shit, now I have to be an owner. That's all everyone talks about. Started building my team, started getting into training, getting into team building, and now 9 months in, team of 21, getting ready to pick a market and go.
Nice. Guys, just unmute yourself and give it up to this guy. That is crazy.
That's amazing. Let's
Go.
go.
Fucking
That is
right.
some
Oh,
crazy stats.
وحش ولا.
Uh, Mazun, so I have some questions right here. So,
Yeah.
18 years old, there's a lot of things that you can get distracted for,
Yeah.
right? If I'm
100%.
right, you're still cranking some crazy numbers in the field, which you don't have to, right?
Hmm.
Unless you have kids that I don't know about.
Not yet.
Okay.
Not yet.
So you don't have kids. Do you have to pay your parents' bills, or do you have like a reason that you want to like pay their bills to go make this crazy amount of money in the field?
I definitely do.
Okay.
My dad, however, he's still currently working and he's very successful. But my parents, they're back and forth between here and the Middle East. So when I graduated high school, they were like, okay, our job is done here. So they're pretty much always in the Middle East. So I have my own place. I have to pay my own rent, my own car. So in terms of money, that's the reason. That's what I'm currently.
So your main expenses, if I'm hearing right, the rent, just living groceries and everything,
Yeah,
and
that's my
then the
main that's my main expenses right now.
car
Yeah.
payment, car insurance.
Yeah, for right
That
now.
can't be $15,000 a month.
Uh it's we live in California, so it's kind of close. But
$15,000 a month is your monthly expenses. Where do you
no,
live in
no,
a
no, no.
penthouse?
Nowhere near. Nowhere near, but it's very expensive here. But 15,000, honestly, I'm not a materialistic person. I'm not a money-driven person. There's nothing I really want to buy. I don't
So what is the hunger behind you doing those crazy numbers?
I just want to be the best. That's it. I'm not driven by money. I don't like buying stuff. I have normal clothes. I don't drive a super nice car. I don't really I don't care about the money for right now. Money in this business is just a signal that you're one of the best. So when you're making the most, it's not necessarily about the actual money, but it's a signal that you're one of the best because you're doing the right things, you're getting paid out, you have super good quality, you're working your ass off in the field, and you have to set the example for your team. If I wasn't doing 15,000, I wouldn't have guys on my team doing 8 to 10,000. Because if they don't see me doing it, what can I expect one of my guys to do even half of what I'm doing? So that's kind of my mindset is when I'm training someone in my head, I'm like, if this guy's just 1/10 as good as me and he's just watching me, I'm gonna have a stud because I'm working my absolute ass off. And a quote that I live by is your team is gonna do 80% of the good that you do and 120% of the bad.
Mm.
So if my highest is 2,000 in 4 weeks or 4,000 or 6,000, their max, if they watch everything that I do, is going to be 80%. So I have to show up and show out, not just for myself, but for my team.
So your fire inside you comes from showing people what's possible. So you're really putting that leadership cap on rather than just like going to the field and putting crazy numbers.
Yeah, I can't come here and tell you no stories. This store is good. You can make this much if I'm not doing it myself. You have to practice what you preach. So anytime one of my guys they have a story about a store, I'll go into the store and I'll do 1,000 in there just so they can see what's possible. So it's impossible for my guys to have stories because they've seen the impossible. It's not impossible anymore if they've seen it. So just setting those expectations and I never have a lid for my guys. The lid is so high, they're constantly chasing something higher than them.
I don't know if you guys are catching this at home, but this guy is only speaking from thousands. He does not speak anything else other than thousands. Say, I'm gonna go do thousands. I'm gonna do thousands, thousands. That's crazy. So nine. So in 9 months, you got to in 9 months you have 21 people in your team. In
Hmm.
4 months, you build assistant manager team, which means over
Uh-huh.
10 people in your team just in 3 months time. So that tells me you hit alpha every single week, and Farid had no other option rather than giving you interviews,
Yeah.
right? So you were the number one. You're probably on top of the trend, right? So you're
Mhm.
probably like, hey, they don't have an option. So like, it doesn't matter that you're 19 years old. I'm gonna give you interviews, and you gotta show him what's possible. Now, if you mess up all those interviews, there's a chance he's probably not gonna give it to you. Yeah, your
Yeah.
stats looks like you did not mess up. Stats looks like from the first person you hired, looks like you got them cranking really fast,
So it
right?
looks like that. It looks like that. And that's the cool thing about results is no one sees everything that came before. No one sees all the work and all the mistakes that you made before. So the cool thing is that in the 333 you're competing with 100
I'm
people. We
gonna
have
stop you for a little bit, Masoon, in case people are wondering what the hell is 333 is.
okay, yeah.
That's the office back in Orange County. The address starts with 333. So every time he mentions 333, what he means is his office. Go ahead,
Yes.
Masoon.
And there's like 9 offices in there. There's 9 owners in there. I forgot the number because they're promoting one every single month. So there's a lot of owners in there. So I believe our total head count right now is like 100. So coming in, I was right off the bat the best sales guy. In my first 4 days, I did like almost 3,000. I did 3,000 in my first 4 days. Right off the bat, I was the best in the office from day one in sales. But that didn't mean anything to Farid. It didn't mean anything. I didn't get the best interview for anything. I believe in my fourth or fifth week, I broke the record for the highest check. My check was close to $5,000. And the next week I didn't even get an interview. I was like, what the hell's going on here? There's that guy over there. His check is 1,100. Why is he getting the interview over me? And I had to understand that it's not what you can do once or twice or 3 times or 4 times, and it's not just about sales. I have to show that I'm so good in all aspects that I can't be ignored and that Farid has to replicate me because he needs more of me. So that was the mindset that I had. And the first interviews I got, I mean, I do prelims 7 days a week now. And my first 3 to 5 interviews, if they were to walk in today for a prelim have prelims in an hour. If they were to walk in today, I'd 110 them instantly. And
Hmm.
those were my first few hires because that's all I could get. So my mindset was I'm not going to be picky when I don't have many options. I'm going to get started and I'm going to start training and I'm going to practice my skill set. So when it's time for that stud to come along, I'm already the best trainer. Because if I
Hmm.
can make this D player into a B player, once I can get that A player, I can actually retain them. So I wasn't worried about who I was getting because I knew they're gonna win because of me. They're not gonna win because of that. So my first few hires, I mean, I wish you guys would see them because that would change your mindset on my first few hires were not they didn't start building my whole team and everything started cranking right away. I failed my first 3 to 5 hires. My first hire quit on their third day. My second hire got fired on the second day. My third hire, I don't even remember them. And then my fourth hire would have been an instant 110. And I was like, okay, I need to focus. If I'm actually committed, I need to practice my training and I need to get this guy up and running. And that was the first leader that I promoted.
I'm gonna stop you for a little bit and disturb you, Mansoor. So usually three people quit, hired, and you're still cranking numbers at 19
Hmm.
years old. It doesn't even matter, 19, 23, 25, 26.
Uh-huh.
That's the time most people take a little pause. They're like, oh, I failed.
Hmm.
Take a little pause. Sometimes realize, is this for me?
Yeah.
Maybe this is the way to get, I don't know about this training bullshit and opportunity. I don't think it's gonna work
Yeah.
out for me. Right? But in like literally less than 3 months' time, you made a lot of quicker adjustments and faster adjustments. Right? So walk me through that. Three people quitting, hiring, some people getting fired. How did you switch your mindset so fast to get back on track to that next interview?
For me, there was, what's the other option? What am I going to do? Quit? I'm already the best person in sales here. Is that all I'm going to be? I'm just going to be the best person in sales. I'm always chasing being the best. I'm not chasing being number one. I want to be the best. So I'm always chasing excellence. So in this business, it's very obvious how to be excellent. It's fit, right? It's field, interviewing, training, team building. So as soon as I was the best in sales, I wanted to be the best interviewer. And then I wanted to be the best trainer. And then I wanted to be the best team builder. I always was looking for that excellence because that's the standard that I held myself to. So when people would quit, it was what's the other option? Am I gonna be the worst? I'm gonna be the worst interviewer? I'm gonna be the worst trainer? I would not let myself fall to that standard, fall below my standard. So it was what's one guy quitting? What's two guys quitting? What's three guys quitting? I'm so clear on what I want that those are just speed bumps. You're gonna hit them. They're gonna be uncomfortable, but I know where I'm going. I don't it shouldn't affect you. Failure is just an opportunity to learn. So the main thing that I see in people when they're ready to get the next level is how they start handling failure. Do you show up a different way the next day? Can people tell that you just had someone quit? Or can people tell that you just had to fire someone? Can people tell that you rolled the day before? How do you handle failure and how do you respond the next day? So that was always something super big for me.
You sure you're 19, right?
Yeah, I turned 19 3 weeks ago.
All right, making sure. Does not sound like 19 to me. I don't know if someone else feeling like that. All right, so something interesting you told me, not you told me, I heard you speaking to Sebastian when we were on the party bus. You had, I think, four people quit at one point, and you and Stephen Rife was building the team together,
Yeah.
right? So just to people who's keeping track at home, Stephen Rife is another ICL owner in the same office. Looks like he lost his team too as an ICL owner. And you are just this rookie 19-year-old kid trying to figure out
Uh-huh.
how to team build. You're partnering up with someone else to kind of like, hey, you know what? We can do this together.
Uh-huh.
He's not gonna get no outcome from you because even if you win or lose, he's not gonna make no money from you. and
Hmm.
same vice versa. So you guys kind of like team up together to
Yeah.
rebuild everything. And if I'm looking at the numbers right now, I think Stephen Rife is making close to 35 to $40,000 a week,
Hmm.
and you are running one of the $1 million offices, right? So walk me through, how did you guys pair up together? Like, walk me through that conversation a little bit more.
Okay, so I remember that conversation very vividly. I had I just promoted that first leader that I was telling you guys, and Steven's team dropped to 3 people. Think about it. An ICL owner team dropped to 3 people, and he's in like the biggest office in the nation. So you're looking around and it's like, oh shit. But I never saw that from him. He was always so sure that he was gonna get it. And his confidence and his clarity, I mean, maybe I shouldn't have followed him so sure at the if he was at that point, but his confidence and the way that he was speaking, and he was so sure that he was going to build his team from 3 to 10 in the next 2 months. So he was like, I'm rebuilding my assistant manager team. I was like, "Okay, cool. How are you going to do it?" And he said, "Do exactly what I do. I promise you in 2 months you're going to be an assistant manager just because of what you're doing." I said, "Okay." So I just followed exactly what he was doing. I cheated. There's an owner right in front of me. I follow exactly what he's doing, and I just do it to my own standard. So I held even a higher standard than Steven. I followed his blueprint, but I made certain tweaks and adjustments along the way. Within 3 months, I didn't even have a team before I was an assistant manager.
So what are
Just
the things that
because.
you did? What were your game? What was your game plan?
So game plan was always, 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 always be an alpha. You cannot miss alpha. If you miss alpha 1 week, it's another month that is going to take you to achieve your goals. So you have to always be an alpha because you don't know when that sharp interview or when that interview that's going to change your team is going to come in. And it might be a perfect fit for you, but if you're not an alpha, you're not going to get that interview. So you have to always be an alpha, and I had to always set the pace. Since I got in, I was number one in the office. So as soon as new jams would come in, I would have a very high level of influence on them because they would see my results, they would see the way I speak, the way I talk, the way I walk, and my influence would be super high. So as soon as jams would come in, the plan was I get them up and running first 3 days, 1 week, and then I'm on to the next. And I would build first gens right away ready to train. Because the best part about when you're training someone and teaching them how to teach, they're just going to get better. So I would triple staff with one of my first gens and their second gens, and I wouldn't teach the second gen, but I would teach the first gen how to teach the second gen. And very easily, I was replicating myself, but I didn't have to replicate myself 5 times. I just had to do it once. So the point was replicating myself as soon as possible. Within the first 5 days, I'm straight to the field. They're seeing as much of me as possible, become 80% of me, and then get ready to teach it right after. Because the faster you get people teaching and growing, the better that they're going to get just at sales. Because once they start to teach, once they start to grow into a different role, that's when they actually start improving. If they're just going to be sales for the first 3 to 5 months, they're not growing. They're not going to get any better. There's a certain lid that they're going to get to in sales if they're not teaching it. So, Stephen Roy, I joked with him when I'd see his board, I'd say, there's not a single person on your team who's not training. Like, he would get people in 1 week they're training because right away he's building competency in sales, and that starts with you. If you're taking their growth and development super slow and it's like, okay, they can get promoted in 4 5 weeks, they can make their first $1,000 check, then when are they going to start training? 6 months down the road, a year down the road. They're constantly going to be working on sales. But if you can bring people in and say sales is just the tip of the iceberg. This is just something that you get when you get here. Your first week, you're going to be great at sales. You're going to get your first $1,000 check. Now how can I grow you into training and replicating yourself? So it's all about how you look at it. Does it take 5 weeks to promote someone, or does it just take one? Does it take 5 weeks to teach someone how to do ID, credit check, intro, short story? Does it take 5 weeks to do that? Or does it take 5 weeks to you? And an analogy that I always use is, if you give yourself right now 1 month to clean your room, it'll take you 1 month. But if you give yourself only 2 hours, it's only going to take you 2 hours. So you just have to change your perspective. How long does it take to get these people up and running? How fast do you want to get to your goals? Because if you give yourself all this time, that's how long it's going to take.
Do you believe if they don't hit alpha every single week, they can be the best trainer?
No, no. Because the number one quality in a leader is being predictable. Say that again. The number one quality, it's not your sales numbers, it's not whatever you think it is, it's not the way you talk. The number one quality is being predictable. And if 1 week you're on, 1 week you're off, you're unpredictable. You're not a leader that I can follow. I don't know who you're going to be tomorrow. Yeah, you're really good today, but I don't know who you're going to be tomorrow. How can I follow you if I have no clue what kind of person you're going to be tomorrow? So alpha is the easiest way to just know. You don't have to ask anyone, is Masoon going to be an alpha next week? You already know that's a given. You don't have to ask anyone if I'm going to be on time. That's a given. So it's these things that, sorry? Okay. So it's these things that they take, generally just hitting alpha, just hitting 1400 or whatever the alpha standard is. It's normally not a number that is super based on skill, right? It's not something that you have to be the best at skill. If you work really hard and you work your 8 great work habits and you work a full day, you're going to hit alpha. So if you didn't hit alpha, it just shows me that you're not doing those things that take no skill. You don't even want it bad enough. So if you're not doing the work, if you don't care enough, why should your team, why should your people care? You're not taking it seriously. Because once you've been promoted, you know the skill that it takes. Now to do it over and over again, it's more mental than anything.
Ooh, I love it. Masoon, I want to respect your time, so we're going to open up questions for 5 minutes. I'm going to give you guys a little bit of awareness. The reason I want Masoon in this call is raise your hand or drop something on the chat if you're so serious about, hey, you know what, hey, Sean, the reason I'm in this business because I want ownership. I want to run a business. I want to become an entrepreneur. If that is you, okay. If you hear this person, if you hear these kids coming to these calls, this is going to be your competition. You're not going to survive if you do bare minimum because this is going to be your competition. Once you launch out, you're competing with Masoon, and there's going to be another Masoon. There's going to be better people coming in. That is your competition. So age doesn't matter, time doesn't matter. Like, you got to get better every single day because competition looks like the competition is getting better and better and better. Our business is getting better. Competition is getting better. So I'm going to try to keep it as easy as possible. It's going to be hard to ask questions from 64 people. So let's do this. So let's start with DC. If you are in DC, drop your name if you have a question. So I'll try to find you and pin you. So let's start with DC. If you have a question, just drop it on the chat. Okay, I think I saw one. Here we go. I don't know who that is. I see Anoop's company name, so I'm going to spotlight you, brother. Here we go. You can unmute yourself.
Hi there, Masoon. My name is Zane. I'm in the DC office here in Volant Group. So my question for you, I wanted to ask you. You said the first three people were 110s. The fourth one is when you kind of said you needed to improve your skills with training. What were some of the once you really started to roll with building a team? You promoted that first one. You're starting to get multiple people promoted. What were some of the later issues that you faced that you had to kind of tackle, and how did you overcome that to continue the strength to get all the way up to 21?
So after building the team is what you mean? After you're starting to train? When?
Yeah, so like once you already, you start to promote one or two leader, I always say like, once is lucky, two is a pattern and three is consistency. So once you started to really get consistent, you're starting to have, a team of 4, 5, 6 people. What were some of the later things that hurdles that you had to overcome, with having a larger
Uh-huh.
team and getting to that level? And what did you do to overcome them?
That's a good question. So when I got to 6 or 5, 6, 7 people, that was actually the time where, I'd bring 2 people in and then 2 people would get out. And I would always ask myself, why are these people not sticking? I can get them up and running quick. I can show them how to make money. I can get them training, but they're not sticking. Something eventually changes. And I realized that I wasn't developing my people. So I was teaching them sales, they're making money, but then they would get to a certain point where I'm not coaching, I'm not developing them anymore. So I had to start getting super intentional with the development of my people. That's one. Number two, this is the most important. If you take anything about training, take this. I wanted to be everyone's best friend. All of my guys, when they came in, I wanted to be their best friend. I wanted to hang out with them all day. I wanted them to really like me because I thought if they like me and they're my best friend, they're gonna stay. So every time they were doing bad, I was always the support. I was the crutch. So they would have a rough week. And I'm like, bro, don't worry, it's okay. Don't worry about it. I'm here for you. Let's go to the field tomorrow. You're gonna ball out. I'm gonna make sure you ball out. So every time that my people would start to struggle, I was always there to catch them. And I was always the best friend. They would hang out with me all day. I would bullshit. I would act like an 18-year-old. And at the beginning, you don't see that. You don't see that it's having any negative effect. But when you're too relatable to your people, it's not okay. I can see myself becoming like you. It's we're already the same. Why would I follow anything that you're saying? We have the same bad habits. We do the same bullshit. We talk the same way. Why would I follow you as a leader? So I had to still be relatable, but stop being so relatable that every single person on my team just felt like they could step all over me because we were friends. I had to become a leader before friends. So something that I like to tell people now is build that leadership and build that respect first. I need that respect. I need that level of leadership first. And then I want you to like me. I want you to still be open. If you have something, you come to me. But I'm not going to be your friend first. I'm going to be your leader first and your friend second. So I had to switch that up. I wasn't a leader at all. I was just a friend. And that's going to completely screw your team. You're not going to be able to build a team if people just see you as a friend.
Boom. All right.
Awesome.
Second
Thank you
question.
so much.
Freeman, my own. I don't know if I'm saying it.
Marianne. Um, so I'm Marianne. I'm from the Virginia Beach office. Is no matter what, like if let's say you went to a dislocation and but like was there ever a way that you just didn't sell and that got you just really frustrated? And if it did, how did you overcome that process?
Sorry, could you repeat that question? It's hard to hear you.
Yeah, no problem. Hold on. Um, so basically my question is when you're at like let's say you go to a different location and like not the location that you're currently at, have you ever just been like, I'm doing all the systems right, but I'm not selling? And how did you overcome that just obstacle?
Different location, like a different store or a
I think
different
what she's trying to
market?
say is Mazunishi went to Virgin Beach. Yeah, I think they launched out to a different city.
Like when you travel and stuff.
Oh, no, because it's not the store, it's the rep. So I never, like when I went to San Diego, I visited Jake's office. It's a top 5 office in the nation, right? They're cranking. And when I went there, I knew I was going to destroy them. I didn't know the store. I didn't know the market. I didn't know anything. I knew I was going to destroy them because it's me, because I'm the best. So I came in with the mindset that it's people, it's Target, it's cell phones, it's a product that everyone knows. We're selling AT&T. We're selling iPhone 17s for free, right? With the certain trade-in and whatever, you can get someone an iPhone 17 for the price of sales tax. It's a $1,200 phone. Like I genuinely, to me, it's that easy. And people try to complicate it and call it difficult. It's gonna be difficult. If there's always an excuse, there's never gonna be a result. You can have one or the other. You can't have both. So for me, when I came in from my second round interview, it's like if this guy's making $1,000, I'm gonna make 3,000. And then I was the first person to do that. Just because that's all I saw. So it's all perspective. It's all the way that you see things. The way that your mind is telling yourself, okay, it's because I'm in a different market, it's because I'm this, because I'm that. If you can just consistently tell yourself that it is this easy. I am selling iPhone 17s, a product that everyone knows, everyone wants. You're on your phone 24 hours a day, and I'm getting you a better deal. If I'm not selling, it's my fault. So if I had any piece of advice for you, I would look at things from a different perspective. And at the same time, if you need advice in the field, just get people to start really liking and trusting you. Because if you have those two things, I can sell to anyone. I can be in any market. I just need to make someone trust me and like me. The deal sells itself. I don't need anything else. But if I don't trust the opportunity and I don't trust the market and I don't trust the location and I don't like the market and I don't like the location, how can I give that energy to anyone else? So it's wherever I go. I told Fareed, Best Buys are coming out on launch. I told Fareed and I told Sabs the other day, I was like, if 20 Best Buys come out in Alaska, I'm going tomorrow. I don't care. I'll make it happen anywhere. So that's the mindset I have is I'm gonna win because of me. And once you have that decisions over conditions and it's my identity mindset, everything will just become easy for you. But you have to create that belief first.
I love it. I see a lot of hands out there, but I'm going to start with Baton Rouge. If you guys have a question, please ask.
Go to space, close the aliens.
Hey, what's up? I have a question for you. I
Yeah.
guess we jumped the gun. What's up, bro? It's been great just been great taking all this information. So I have a
But
psychological question and then I have like a tactical kind of question.
okay.
So, you how you always strive for perfection and how you always strive for greatness?
Yes.
How would you like when you miss out on like 10 lines, right? How would you bounce back? Would you start overthinking? Would you just be like next one green and you keep going? Or how would you like overcome overthinking in the field?
I miss out on so many more 10-liners than anyone else, I promise you. I was in the field yesterday and I missed out on like 2 8-liners. It's like, well, shit, well, on to the next. This is not my customer. If you have that 100% belief that you're going to get the result no matter what, those little mistakes don't matter as much. So if you find yourself overthinking after every mistake, I would say make your goals bigger. Make your vision clearer. Because that 8-liner it's not everything to me. I've closed 1,000 8-liners. I'll close 1,000 more. I'm going for something so much bigger. I'm going for ownership. I'm going for being a consultant. So one customer doesn't mean anything to me. It's on to the next.
Wow.
That's my mindset, is because my goals are so big. If your vision and your goals are very small, every little obstacle looks so much bigger. But if your goals and your vision are way bigger than all the obstacles that you're going through, you can barely even see the obstacles. So I say get super clear on where you're going. That would be my psychological advice.
All right, and the next question is because I feel like when I'm in the field, I just talk too much. You know what I mean?
Uh-huh.
I want to oversell or try to do honest business, quote unquote. When is the perfect, like, is there like, how do I put this? It's like, is there like a word limit for me to ask for the ID? Because, and I'm put this in like an analogy. Let's just say I'm fishing. I put the rod in the water, I start reeling it in. I put the fish back in the water when I should just be reeling it in. So what is talking too much basically? If you
To
want
be
to,
honest, I didn't really understand the analogy, but if your question is how to stop talking too much,
yeah,
okay. So the advice that I would give is imagine you're trying to take control, right? I see this question so many times. How do I take control? How do I take control? How do I take control? The person with control of the conversation is the person who's always talking less. Always. 100% of the time. Because anytime you're watching a conversation, I'll give you an analogy. If you see a mom and a kid arguing, who's talking and who's crying the most? If the mom's like, you're grounded, that's 2 words. What's the kid's response?
then I start to cry.
They're gonna cry, they're gonna yell, they're gonna throw a tantrum, they're gonna use all these words, and mom just used 2. Because mom's 2 words hold so much more power and so much more value than the kid's 1,000 words and cries. So when you talk, every single thing that you say needs to hold value. And when you notice yourself trying to convince people and trying to explain to them the benefits and this and that, your words are losing value all the time. And the customer, you no longer have control of the conversation. The customer is now in control because you start to lose control. You start to get desperate for the sale. And now you're talking about how we have hotspot in Panama or whatever it is. You start talking about a bunch of different benefits that the customer doesn't care about. I only talk about what the customer cares about and I leave it at that. That's it. I don't need to explain to you every single benefit that AT&T has when you're just interested in a brand new phone. Or if you don't care about the phones and you just want a lower bill, I'm only talking to you a lot about the lower bill. And I'm not constantly trying to convince you because what does that build? It builds a lack of trust because you're trying to convince them of something. So you need to talk less. You need to force yourself to hold it in and listen. Because when you listen, the customer closes themselves every single time. I let my customers close themselves. They start asking questions, and if they have an objection, I'll pause for like 10 seconds. And if they talk first, the sale is done. Every single time. If they have an objection and then I pause and they talk first and kind of talk themselves out of it, have you guys ever seen that before? Where the customer is like, I don't know, man. I might have to ask my daughter what color she wants. Pause. I'm just like going through the sale. I don't even answer. You know, she really loves pink, though. Do you guys have pink? What do I do? But sir, why do you have to ask your daughter? And it could be pink. Shh. Wait 10 seconds every single time. Pause.
So
Customer,
basically,
they
so
will
basically,
they will close themselves.
yeah. So basically, what I just heard was speak with intention and speak with purpose. Don't
Speak
just
with
speak.
yeah. If you're not speaking with purpose, don't say anything at all. You have a way better chance being mute than saying a bunch of words.
I'll take that
So
in.
Let's go. I want to respect your time. So we're gonna go to New Orleans team. One question, and then because I know you need a lot of energy to do prelims all day. So I'm gonna make. All right.
this is a
So
good
New
warm up.
Orleans, if you're in the New Orleans office, you can ask a question. If not, we're gonna wrap up the call.
I have a question. What's up, Masoon? How you doing?
Wow, good. How are
All
you?
right, I'm great, thank you. All right, so how did you vision cast your vision? of where you're headed to your team, especially if you had a whole bunch of newbies, maybe some seasoned leaders as well. How did you relate your vision to where they wanted to go if their vision is not ownership or team building?
So this is a really good question. So I'm going to hit this at a couple different angles. The first quote I'm going to start with has to do with the fact that I never really relay my personal vision or goals to my team. And I've always been this way. My team doesn't know how far I am from senior leader or assistant manager or ownership. They have no clue. They genuinely don't know. My team doesn't know when I'm about to be an assistant manager or guys, we have to do this. It's one more week before I hit the metrics. Or I never, ever, ever, ever tell my team because I know that they will always work harder for themselves than they will for me.
Mm.
So I never even put that idea into their head. Don't think that you're doing anything for me. Because one, I don't want them to think that I'm getting to my goals because of them. And two, I don't want them to think that I need them to get to my goals. So an idea that's always instilled in my team's head, it's not a set idea. It's not like I'm telling them, but they know, is that I don't need them. I'm going to go to assistant manager or ownership or consultant because of me. I don't need you to get there. I would want you to get there. I want you. I like you, but I don't need you.
Mm.
So I don't necessarily need to tell them my own goals because I know that they're going to work harder for themselves than they are for me. But what comes into play is that when you're good, you tell everybody. But when you're great, they tell you. So if you're good, you're telling everybody your goals. But when you're great, everyone's telling you your goals. I'm not even telling anyone my goals, and they're telling me, wait, you're assistant manager now? Aren't you like 2 weeks? I didn't even tell them. But just because I'm so good and they can't ignore it, they're seeing it and they're telling me. Now my guys are seeing the vision and where I'm headed, but it's not from me telling them. It's from my results. So I've always been the person that I'm not going to tell you my goals and my vision and this. I'm going to show you. 10 out of 10 times, I'm going to show you what's possible. So now when you see it, it's not like I'm telling you, go do 1,000 in the field so you can help me hit assistant manager. I'm $1,000 away from the production. No, go do 1,000 in the field because your dream is to get a M5. I'm not even a car guy. I don't give a shit about cars. But there's like 3 guys on my team who are super big car guys and their goal is cars. Perfect. If that's going to get you committed to go to the field and work a full day and do your A-grade work habits, I don't need anything else from you. Let's get you that car. So I'm always helping my people get to their goals. Who gives a shit about my goals? Fuck my goals. You guys don't need to know anything about my goals. You guys don't need to help me get to my goals. What are your goals? Let's get you there. And every single one is going to have a different goal. And I'm going to help every single one get there. Because they're going to always work harder for themselves and their own goal than they will for mine. Not at the end of the day, who gives a shit about my goal? Doesn't matter.
I love it. Thank you.
100%.